This PowerPoint is designed to provide you with an overview of what this course is about and its main objectives. The move towards inclusive communities is born out of the normalization movement. Normalization was popularized during the 1970s and helped spur on the closing of large institutions for people with disabilities. The point of normalization is to adjust the environment as closely as possible to normal, not necessarily the person of focus. The aim of inclusive education is to provide an environment as close as possible to normal or typical. If you have taken special education law, then you should be familiar with 94-142, or the Education for All Handicapped Children. This law provided for education for all children, even those with the most significant disabilities. This law, later termed the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA, has had several reauthorizations, but some components, such as least restrictive environment, force schools to examine their practice of where they were placing students with disabilities. Module 2 of this course includes more information about what inclusion is and what it looks like today. With the advent of No Child Left Behind came a hard critical look at how students with disabilities were achieving academic outcomes in their environments, whether they were segregated or inclusive. Additionally, this law has emphasized the importance of using research to help guide instructional decisions. McCleskey, Roseberg, and Westling provide an overview of the research of the outcomes of inclusion, and here are their findings. First, students with disabilities did just as well, if not better, than their peers in a resource or segregated classroom. Second, gains were seen in improved work habits, increased self-confidence, increased willingness to take risks, and more on-task and attentive behavior. Third, students with disabilities also saw improvements in their social skills, including self-esteem, increased interactions with peers, improved social competence, developed richer and more long-lasting friendships, and improved social status. Finally, there has been research conducted on the effects of inclusion on peers without disabilities, and the outcomes are good. Students without disabilities saw increased personal growth, appreciation and acceptance of others, feelings of accomplishment, development of friendships with students with disabilities, and improved understanding of disability-related issues. So we have this research that says inclusion works, but we've all been in situations where it hasn't. And why is that? Well, inclusive programs need to be well designed and supported. This includes time for students to work in small groups, receiving intense instruction on basic skills. There are some very strong research-based strategies identified for teaching reading and math, and implementing them with fidelity requires a small group with similar skills. However, this doesn't mean all doors to general education are closed. If you've taken the co-teaching collaboration course, you know that there are ways to provide alternative instruction within the context of general education. These sessions are meant to be short and sweet and not be a class delivered within a class. Additionally, the differentiated instructional portion of this course can provide you with some other ways to work with students in small groups, even if you do not have a co-teacher. This research has also assumed that there are opportunities in education in social skills. Merely placing students in general education for the social benefit, as many of us did back in the day, does not result in improved social skills or status. Rather, it can actually produce negative outcomes. Here are 3 very broad categories of what contributes to successful inclusion. First, administrative support is essential. This can look like restructuring across districts and schools to ensure students are in their neighborhood schools, but also being included in classes with same-age peers. Administration should also be providing opportunities for staff development and flexible supports, like co-teaching and working together as a team. Research has indicated that students who are placed in poorly designed inclusive programs actually experience negative outcomes than their peers in segregated environments. Second, if the teachers don't believe, then the students are in trouble. Successful inclusion needs to be developed and supported by an administration that believes, but really needs the people running it to believe, because you are all the ones out there doing the work. This includes presumed competence and high expectations. so you truly believe that students with disabilities are capable of high academic outcomes, even the students with most significant disabilities. Additionally, your classroom reflects those beliefs, so you make an effort to model and reinforce positive attitudes of all kinds of diversity. Third, we finally get to the nitty-gritty of how inclusion plays out. One of the tricky parts of inclusion is not losing that individualized piece, which is what special education is all about. So efforts at designing universally designed instruction and differentiated instruction to student needs are two ways to attack the day-to-day piece in the classroom. In addition, it's important that we support behavior and be able to support a wide range of behavior within a general education classroom. This course does provide some resources on administrative support, but it primarily focuses on what happens within the walls of our classrooms. Through these 8 modules, you will be provided with resources, instruction, and opportunities to discuss and practice these skills. Good luck.